It could have derailed everything. All the progress I made so far could have remained a mere idea. Fear don't stop most men from succeeding. It stops them from even trying. It nearly derailed me. I was this close to scrapping the whole thing. But eventually I got tired of thinking and I just did it. And you know what happened? I decided to take to the streets and ask some real people this. Today I am here with Jellian. What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Tay X Millie back again with another video. And today we got a good one. Today we're gonna be talking about fear and why it's lying to you and why most men will stay average. But before we get into the video, be sure to follow me on all platforms at Tay X Millie. All right, thank you guys for 250 subs, man. I love it here. Imagine 250 people, bro. I gotta see an image of this. Let me look up 250 people standing in front of me. Wow, look at us, man. That's 250 people? That ain't enough. We gotta take down small armies. We gotta be raiding villages. Us versus the gorilla, who y'all got? So let's get into it, you guys. For a long time, I've had a strong urge to tap back into my creative process. In fact, I made it my New Year's resolution at the start of the year. But when it came time to upload my first video, I found myself at a standstill. I began overthinking, and once the thoughts ran wild, it bred fear. But really, I was scared of looking corny and being seen trying, all because of an image I thought I had to maintain. I was pressed and caught up on what people would think. It could have derailed everything. All the progress I made so far could have remained a mere idea. Crazy. You, watching this video now, would have never even knew I existed. So think about it. Fear don't stop most men from succeeding. It stops them from even trying. It's not failure that holds most people back. It's never getting started. It's sitting on your ideas. It's procrastinating on your calling. And worst of all, it's being stuck in your head, worried about how other people are gonna perceive you. It nearly derailed me. I was this close to scrapping the whole thing. Months of planning, prepping, doubting, poof. Who knows how many other dreams have died just like that. It's crazy to think how many ideas got buried because someone was too scared to look stupid. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about fear. It is a mental prison. Your brain singing Locked Up by Akon. So listen, fear is rarely about what's real. It's about what's imagined. It's not about danger. It's what you perceive as danger. Like, think about it. We're not running from tigers anymore. Most of our fears ain't even survival based. We're scared of judgment, rejection, and what people might say. We ain't beating that gorilla. We ain't beating that gorilla. But who are these people really, right? Let's say you do start that business or post that video or launch that idea. Worst case, somebody from your hometown says you're doing too much. You're building a life. They're commenting from the bleachers. I even remember being terrified of posting my first video on Instagram. That platform especially. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The app where everyone curates the perfect version of their lives. And here I am, trying to post vulnerable, raw content while everyone posts luxury trips and gym flexes. I felt like I was breaking some unspoken code. But then I realized that this fear I felt, it wasn't even the truth. It was just noise. I was afraid of a reaction that might not even happen. In fact, a lot of people respected the move. Some even reached out and said, hey bro, you're giving great value. So you see what I'm saying? Fear exaggerates the worst case scenario, when in reality, you might inspire someone. Most men don't fear failure. They fear being seen trying, and that's the truth. So Tay, what is fear? That's what you sound like. Simple equation, right? Fear equals lack of competence. Whenever we're doing something new, like starting a YouTube, going to the gym, going up to speak in public for the first time, our brain freaks out. Oh, this is too hard. Oh, I don't know how to do this. What if I mess up? It's not hard, it's just unfamiliar. It's not hard, it's just new. And the only way to beat the fear is to do the reps. You get competent, and from that, you build confidence. For example, I've never done a street interview before this video, and I sat on that for a couple of weeks. I think of walking up to strangers and my stomach would drop. What if they ignore me? What if they don't like me? What if I look stupid with a mic in my hands and nobody wants to talk? But eventually I got tired of thinking and I just did it. And you know what happened? Yeah, I got ignored a few times. People walked past me like I didn't exist. Some folks just didn't want to be bothered. But eventually I got one person that said yes. And that one conversation changed everything. They dropped some real perspective on fear, and in turn, I proved something to myself, that I could do this, that I'm capable. And once you have evidence, fear starts to lose its grip. You stop fearing what you've already survived. So with all that being said, I decided to take to the streets and ask some real people this. If fear didn't exist right now, what would you be doing with your life? What's your biggest fear when it comes to chasing your goals? And what advice would you give to someone who's scared to take the first step? Now, like I said earlier, not everyone was down. Some people avoided eye contact. I feel like I was harassing motherfuckers out there. But it wasn't that deep. Some people were just in a rush. But all it took was one willing person to spark something real.
What it do, y'all? Today I am here with Jillian. Today we're just gonna be asking some questions on fear. So the first of which I wanted to know, Jillian, if fear didn't exist, what would you be doing with your life right now?
Well, right now currently I'm working on like some novels, scripts, things like that, personally. And I share them with like some friends. I share like little excerpts from them. I've always like, eventually I do want to get them out, and I've thought about just like releasing them like chapter by chapter, maybe just online. I've never gone to it, you know, because I always have like a thing in the back of my head telling me like, this isn't good enough, this could be refined. But you know, I also have another side thing like, if I just get this out, it's out, I'll feel good about it. But that's, you know, the perfectionist in me, you know, wanting to like release something good, have something good out there, not have something that like is flawed.
For sure. Nah, that's a lot of what kind of got me with my channel, is trying to be a perfectionist, and it held back a lot of my videos. So what genre do you write?
Right now I'm working on like a fantasy. And what's the other thing I'm working on? I don't know how to describe it. Crime, I guess.
Yeah, crime?
Thriller,
Okay. Crime, fantasy. Do you like blend the two, or do you just pick?
Oh no, these are two separate stories.
Separate ones? Oh, fine. That's cool. Nah, I never met no writer before, so that's badass. So, what's the biggest fear when it comes to chasing that goal?
Biggest fear is just like it being out and then me realizing like this is not good enough. This is not the vision I had in mind. This could be refined, way better than what I thought, you know. And also it just like not, you know, leading to anything, you know. If I just keep it by myself, you know, there's always the potential of releasing it and it leading to something. But if I do release and release nothing, that potential is gone. You know?
Is that so it's more so on a fear associated with yourself, right?
Yes.
It's not so much what other people think. Oh, so that's like the perfectionist in you. That's just.
And also, you know, with writing, I tend to like project a lot of feeling into my writing. So, you know, some feelings that maybe I don't want people knowing that I feel that way. Things like that. So,
that's real.
So I don't want people, you know, knowing that side of me.
So it's like a vulnerability component to it too.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. Because with the channel, like I try my best to be as vulnerable as possible without like crossing a certain threshold. Because then I feel like I'm putting myself out there a little too much. But like day by day, I feel like it's great if you take like those. They can be minor steps at first, like just inserting a little bit of vulnerability into your writing. I feel like it'd be rewarding for you. So, what's some advice you have to someone who's scared to take the first step?
You know, just do it, because, you know, really, when you're scared of things like that, it's not really the fear of doing it, it's the fear of the aftermath. You know, I like to think about it, like, when I do things. Like, when I'm doing, like, some lazy, like, maybe I'll put off, like, doing some chores. I'd be like, you know what? That's not my problem. That's future me's problem. I like to think of future me as, like, a different person.
Like
a different person entirely.
Let's go.
So, sometimes you can use that mindset for something positive, you know?
For sure. Nah, I love that. I'd be separating myself into two different people, like, or three rather. You got past me, present me, and future me. I like to thank my past self for the benefits I get to reap in the moment, but then in the moment, I like to put myself through more struggle in a way, so my future self can benefit. So I like the mindset that you put that in. I feel like a lot of people can, if they adopt that, a lot of people can like excel in ways they can't even imagine.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you for your time, Jillian.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you want to plug anything? Instagram?
My Twitter's on
Facebook,
private.
Twitter?
I can't. I don't want to plug my Twitter.
It's all good.
See, everyone deals with fear, but the ones who move anyway, that's where the growth happens. Let's talk about the men now. The male ego and image. Most men don't move not because they're weak, but because they're image focused. We're afraid of what it means to be seen learning and struggling, being a beginner. We confuse vulnerability with weakness. We always want to look smooth, calculated, and on point. But the truth is, nobody gets it right the first time. You gotta be willing to look awkward, to look new. It's like going to the gym for the first time. You see all these dudes lifting 5 plates while you're trying to learn how to use the damn cable machine. It's humbling, but that's the price of growth. You gotta earn your comfort. And your ego, it's a trap. That image you're trying to protect might be the very thing holding you back. But being brave don't mean you don't care. It just means you care enough to show up anyway. Courage is being seen during your awkward phase. Cheers to you. Now we're gonna talk about the bravery advantage, right? Here's the upside to all this. In today's world, it's actually easier to win if you just have the balls to start. Why? Because most people never do. And 99% of people will feel the fear and turn away. They'll take the safe route, the familiar path, the average choice. Average choices produce average results. But if you're willing to go through the judgment, the discomfort, the awkwardness, the beginning, you set yourself apart. You're in the 1% just for moving. Bravery is not an action, it's a decision. It's choosing to take action despite the feeling, walking through the storm and not waiting for it to pass. And over time, those little acts of courage compound into a different life. You get stronger, you build respect, and you earn your confidence. And the rewards, man, they different. The fulfillment hits harder. The results feel earned, and the relationships you build are deeper because they're rooted in authenticity and not image maintenance. So let me ask you this. What would you be doing now if fear didn't exist? Let that marinate. Write it down. Think about that tonight. And then I challenge you, do one bold thing today to move that needle forward. It doesn't have to be massive, but it has to be meaningful. Feeling this message, subscribe, because we're growing over here. We're almost at 300. Thank you guys. We're stepping out the shadows and into our purpose. No more hiding, no more delay. Because what if it all turns out even better than you imagined? Fear is lying to you. Don't let it win, all right? Later.